What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part, I want to say 61 of my Total Warhammer 3 Zhatan the Black Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, the war against the Crooked Moon is well and truly engaged now, with us pushing up from the north, or from the north and moving down south, and now that we've pushed the OG dwarfs out of the southern World's Edge Mountains, we're pushing up north from the south as well. The goal, of course, is to crush the remains of the Crooked Moon in between our two forces and then move into the Badlands and essentially corn them up so that we have a buffer against any other faction that attacks us here. And I'd like to have a buffer here as well, if possible, depending on how much time we have to actually take all this before the endgame scenario arrives. At the very least, I do think that we need to be destroying Kislev before we do, but fortunately, ASTRAGOTH is pretty much there. In fact, this episode, he'll be facing off against Serena KATARIN, who's sitting in Vitevo and very close to us, with a full stack, mind you, but let's just say that her stack is not at the level as Kastalton's was, so I don't see her winning that one. Alright, in terms of what we gotta do right now, we're gonna start with having Overseer the Black auto-resolve at the lair of the Troll King, because there's no defenses there. And this one I think is pretty critical. Really close victory? From this? I mean, I guess this is an Overseer army, but nonetheless, you can take it. War Banner, sure. We are going to occupy the place's factory, but it really doesn't matter what we occupy. That's, ooh. You know what? If we're going to transfer it, I'd rather raise it and get more raw materials right now. We're gonna raise it. And you're going far, man. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. You can just stay there, and aren't you in friendly territory? You will be if you go right here, where you can heal. Beautiful. Alrighty, so either Tor here takes it, or if he can't, we'll take it for him, and then transfer either way. And then, once we have the lair of the Troll King in the hands of the Wintertooth, we transfer them Fort Straghoff, Fort Ostrosk, Castle von Rauk, and Zavastra, basically all of the minor settlements around these places that we're not going to bother defending, as it's really too much of a hassle, to be perfectly honest. So I think that'll work out quite nicely. Alrighty. Now, who else needs to move? Zhatan, I believe you were near a Last Defender's army, but I think it was a weak one that you didn't really need to... Yeah, there's not much here. I mean, there's some nice dinos and all, but it's not really worth fighting, let's face it. So you're just gonna kill it so it doesn't come back to Karagarud. It's going to run, but it ain't running far enough. Alright, and you're gonna go right here, auto-resolve that, move back into friendly territory right after. And then you'll jump over to fight Thorek, hopefully next time. Did you take no losses to that? Wow. The auto-resolve really recognizes the strength of this army. Man, this is shocking. I almost never see the auto-resolve do this, but this had like, what, 5, 6, 7 dinos and a slan. It may not have been a full stack, but I would have expected at least some damage. Like the solar engines would have gotten the hits off and probably knocked at least a few of the... well, actually, they wouldn't have killed any of the Infernal Ironsworn because of their ability, but they might have killed some of the blunderbusses or the fireglaves, at least. Interesting. Well, money is relatively useless to us, so we're going to take the labor. Free Dawnstone. Hey, a mission successful as well, always nice. You cannot go into jumpy stance, underway stance. You're going to go right here, and then next turn, you are... Oh. We could have raided Khemri, couldn't we? Alright, might as well raid Khemri. It's not like we need to heal, although we actually do need to heal a tiny bit. It's not that we're going to really gain anything out of raiding them a tiny bit. Yeah, we'll just stay here, we'll jump here, and then attack Thorek afterwards. I'm actually surprised he hasn't moved away to retake Karak Zorn. I thought that the AI was actually programmed to try to retake its home territory, but apparently I was wrong. Anyway, I know that these guys have to move, but I think we're going to move a little bit more systematically so that we know it's... Oh, you're next anyway. Okay. I actually wanted to get Krokgar's Source Smiter defeat trait for for Zhatan, but it looks like Scaff will be fighting. What do we have here? Nothing crazy. Scaff, this does look like it'll be a nice fight for you, so you are going to move in. And maybe, or hopefully, Kroq-Gar will revive and we'll be able to take him out one more time with Zhatan for that defeat trait. We will, I think, fight this. Kroq-Gar is always worth fighting, and he is on Grimlock. And yeah, this should be an interesting fight, plus we only have 18 units in the stack. Is the Overseer's army able to reach us here? It is. What about jumping? By jumping, no. I'd rather it really not suffer attrition. Also, you are missing. Oh, right, you lost a unit. I forgot to re-recruit that, eh? Well, we don't really need the second army, so we can fight without it. I guess we're just gonna go... Yeah, ooh. I was about to say maybe we can have you take Teotihuacan, but there's probably no need. Just go here. Alrighty, and why are we suffering attrition from this? Huh. A rite has been performed in the start. Oh, okay. It's a rite rather than a corruption sort of deal. Alright, that's fine. That is indeed fine. Let's see who else needs to move. We'll fight after doing a little bit more army movement, or possibly building, depending on what comes first. Now, Yobaz, you need to get the heck out of here before that plague gets you. And I guess you are moving towards Khemri territory. Maybe you can get to Cetra the Imperishable. You do have cavalry, which you could use. Alright, guessing we are going through this place. Alright, go march stance, like so. This is swamp attrition. Just out of curiosity, since we're in this area right now, do we not have something that nullifies swamp attrition? Yes, we do. Imperishability rituals. Ironic, considering we're going for Cetra the Imperishable. I still think we should probably get the current mass production thing up first, but then we'll do the other thing afterwards. Overseer Vargash, you cannot move right now, and I guess you two don't really... Well, I was about to say don't really need to move, but you know what, I guess you could move out here a little bit. You're still gonna wait for another army. As in a troop train to reach you and transfer a bunch of stuff, so that's not about to change. Alrighty, what else do we have in terms of needing to move? I did that out of order a little bit, but I don't think it's going to change much. Let's see, Thrunbaj, where were you again? Yes, here. You are ready to hit Mount Gunbad, are you not? And there is a full stack there. We can send Overseer Vargash to help you out, I think. Yeah, alright, this is definitely worth fighting. Lots of trolls and stuff, and this time, if we don't send Gorth the Cruel, we wouldn't be able to rely on the strength of his piles of fire glaives to kill everything there, which would make it a much harder battle, and thus probably a little bit more fun. Are you actually close enough here or not? I can't quite tell. You know, let's march stance just in case. I'd rather not risk this guy not being close enough. We also need to get Gorthy. Let's have him take Grom Peak. And yeah, I know that we want to move him out to get his new units, but we'll do that afterwards. And these are all for Thrunbaj. I guess both of them need to jump down, so that's not going to be changing anytime soon. You are going to join the Overseer here, as he currently does not have a mage. And let's get back to the order here. Alright, Lords and Heroes, Order of Operations. Who's up next? Draj, yes. You need to move. You've taken Black Crag, and I guess you're going to Iron Rock next. A little bit worried about the Bloody Hands armies here. Well, maybe... Ooh, hello. Belgar Ironhammer. Well, that's a nice... Okay, well, now I'm glad that we moved down here. I didn't think that there was a Belgar to be found. Let's move over Sears Jegthrong beside Draj. You're both going to hit Iron Rock and maybe, possibly, even chase down Belgar. I do not remember what Belgar's defeat trait is, but I assume that we'll find out in the near future. You move out here, keep an eye on these territories. I imagine that Shifty Muckraka is going for Bitterstone Mine. Wait, I thought I moved the oh, damn, did I forget to move the Tech Thieves between this episode? No, I only... Okay, I must have moved some of them, but not all of them. Damn, my bad. I usually do that. But apparently not this time, okay. Well, it's not gonna be much, hopefully. Much of an issue, I mean. We'll move the rest of them later. Let's see who else needs to move right now in terms of armies. Keep advancing, everybody. Troop train. You stay here as long as this army's there. ASTRAGOTH, you're about to fight. You're getting a cinematic battle today. Kigel, you need to chase down Kastalton. I don't think Prague is under threat, so what we could do is pop you into ambush stance and start moving it towards Kosti here. Can he take Fort Strogov? Yes, he can, but not with you in front of it, so go here. And we're definitely going to make this guy's army into an army. I might actually... He has all these great Tauruses. We do have 2, I think, Lamasu in another army. We are going to build an Air Force army. And I did decide what I was going to do for Gorth the Cruel's army once he transferred the range units out, and he's going to have a bunch of Infernal Ironsworn, which we haven't started building, as well as a couple of Blood Shrines of Khorne, and a couple of War Mammoths with War Shrines. Lots of stuff to buff up melee infantry. Those Infernal Ironsworn are going to hit hard, and we're going to back them up with some Infernal Guard with great weapons and Fire Glaives. Should be a nice little force. And a little bit different than the forces that we currently have in terms of its functionality, which is what I like to go for. Anyway, who else needs to move? Radar Namtar, I believe you were beside an island. Yes, indeed you are. Shipwreck, let's see if that one necessitates a fight. Explore the island. Auto-resolve. And take the labor. Alright. Anything good from this? Reward-wise? Physical resistance. Are you kidding me? We now have 8 turns of materials at sea. Game. Oh man. Hashut is really appreciative these days. It's suspicious. It's very suspicious. And oh, we're healing here. Because this is controlled territory. It just says, huh. I thought that this guy couldn't heal in friendly territory. Well, you're heading to that Skull Island then. I can't believe we got more materials at sea. I am absolutely loving this. Might even have you fight something. There is a stack belonging to Talaqua here. Could certainly help our friends out, make them not lose territory, maybe even transfer them some territory while we're at it. Anyway, well done, Raider Namtar. That's 2 materials at sea he's found for us. I don't remember who found the first materials at sea, though. I wonder who it was. It would be funny if it was Raider Namtar as well. Troop Train, ASTRAGOTH, you guys don't need to do anything. Raider the Scourger, yeah, you guys. You're still in an interesting position. I no longer know where Eltharion is. We could land at the Monument of the Moon and attack it. The only thing is we don't know what is also nearby. There could be another... Well, we know that there were a bunch of full stacks here. And we could very well get attacked. I guess the question is whether we risk it or not. But what's the defenses like? The thing is, we'd have to manually fight this, because remember last time we auto-resolved this, it got kind of dicey. I'm willing to risk it. I don't care that much if these guys die, to be honest. And once again, the thing is, I would like for them to fight something. I just don't want them to fight like 5 stacks, which is impossible to win. I like them to fight 2, max 3 stacks. Something that would be very, very difficult to win, but at least possible. And yeah, in that light, just in case there are 5 stacks nearby, we still want to do as much damage to them as possible, and thus we're going to maximize that potential by having our units not suffer a bunch of extra casualties. I'm going to max speed through this, obviously, because it's a little bit of a waste of time, but you know how the auto-resolve likes to screw the poor gobos over. It certainly does like to underestimate the gobos. I think we've achieved quite a bit with some of our Hobgoblin forces, and I'm not even talking about Yobaz and Gordaz's force, because those are super gobos, but the regular gobos. The everyman gobbo, the every gobbo. Alright, magma cannons, most of this is going to be your work, and a little bit to the raiders as well. We're going to hit those archers. You guys just stand right there. Back here, archers, like so. And we are going to move forward. Start deployment, please. Start battle. Go, go, go. Magma cannons, fire away. Alright, what kind of caster are you? You're a Lord Pashat. Good. I mean, I guess anyone would have worked for this and speed it up a little bit as the magma cannons fire. Hopefully they're not firing at the same unit. Couldn't quite tell because they didn't hit anything. Alright, you, in fact, can sort of stay away. You are going to launch some of those burning rats. Hopefully they don't smash into those trees. They do tend to have an arc. Yeah, they arced over it. Beautiful. And that was a nice shot. Damn. That was a very nice shot. Unexpectedly so, perhaps. That spell does have a little bit of a tendency to miss. Alright, these guys are going to fire at you, but we will fire right back with the... Okay, apparently not. Alright. Let's do that. We will summon some blood and fireborn right here. Keep the magma cannons firing, and you need to keep burning wrath things, which is a word. Let's cast some more spells. One here, one here. You have a spell as well. Alright, did these guys really stand there while the flames of Asgore hit them? Okay, that's surprising. I thought that they would run away. Okay, well, can't complain about it, mind you. Lord is under attack. Oh, my bad. My bad, Mr. Lord under attack. Let's try to nuke these. Now they'll just move away. Alright, I'm gonna speed this up. You guys back away a little. Hey, back away a little bit. Let the magma cannons do the rest of the work. And maybe a few more spells if needed. Alright, there we go. Is the enemy going to bother trying to approach? Oh, these guys actually got close enough to actually fire at us. Rude. Tremendously rude. Alright, fine then. You guys are gonna approach. I guess all of you can approach. And Doom of Hashut is back up and running. Let's pop it right there while we also pop this right. They're gonna shatter in a second anyway. Come on, come on. There we go. And you know what? Free labor is free labor, so we're gonna max speed it, and then we're going to give chase. But hopefully not get killed by our own magma cannons. Like so, like so. We get to summon more blood and fireborn right there. Kill those guys and rip everything apart. Lovely. Alright, should be at least a little bit of labor from all this. I actually still don't know whether we actually get bonus labor when we do this for settlements we destroy, because things get destroyed anyway, right? No, but then we do get bonus labor when armies get destroyed anyway, when they ran away, so I assume that we get it here as well. Who knows? Alright, at least this way we took no Gabo casualties. And we're going to occupy the place's factory, and well, it's probably going to be impossible to use it as an actual base, but maybe we'll spend a little bit of our acquired labor to bump up a defensive structure there. At the very least, this makes it really good for the Chaos Dwarfs to make a beachhead, because they can make one in a single turn as soon as they land, essentially. Too bad we can't borrow black arcs from the Dark Elves. So occupy this place's factory, though raising it will give us 900 raw materials, but we can't risk it. He's going to run away and we don't know where. It's so tempting though, 900 raw materials, but no. Alright, you've got this. Then, what do we have nearby? And... Alright, you're too far away to attack us. I want you to leave the settlement for a second. I want you to enter the settlement. And then I want you to go right... there. Damn, I was hoping that you would be able to ambush, but alas, not the case. Alright, you're gonna go here and you're gonna go... Nope, I did that wrong. You're gonna go here, outside of the settlement, and you're gonna go here. And the reason I did that was because he has more mana. We are going to immediately build you, and we're going to transfer... I don't know, like some labor to... Oh, I didn't check what it was called. Ugh, every time. Jungles of Pawalasha. Alright. 1, 2, 3, let's try something like that. This might be a waste of labor, but I still want to give it a try. And let's do that, like so, and establish beachhead, please. 1, 2, rush, 2, rush, and 3, probably can't do it to the next level. Honestly, this doesn't give us too much, but you never know. Do we want to waste more labor on this, or does it feel like a little bit much. We could at least make it go to the next level. We're going to get attacked by so many of these armies. But I guess if they're not standing close to each other, then it shouldn't be as concerning. Yeah, you know what? It's kind of for fun, so we're going to transfer a little bit more labor. Let's go... Huh? Oh. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. That should be enough to, I think, crush both. Where's Jungles of... Here it is. Alright, that was a ton of labor for this. But since we got the extra materials at sea, it doesn't matter as much as it did before. Rush construction, I don't know why I went for the sluice gate. Rush construction, and then do this, and perfect, rush construction. There we go. That was completely on purpose, I calculated that. Do any of these things give us any bonuses to garrison like SFO does? I don't think so. I guess we could at least corrupt the place if we wanted to. Yeah, too bad that you can't build like another militarized building, essentially. Global recruitment duration -1 turn for all units, all armies in region, eh? I mean, we could actually power up the raider armies a little bit if we have the time here. You know what? I think that's what we're gonna do. We're going to waste a little bit of our armaments to build an ironworks here, and then if nobody attacks us for a turn or so, we're gonna get these guys some more stuff. Granted, it's still going to be many gobos, but the hobgoblin archers, at the very least, could be replaced. We could get fireglaves, blunderbusses, or even something like hell cannons. Hell cannons ain't great, but they could help, and they're fairly cheap for what we've currently got. The problem with blunderbusses is we actually have like 24 of them or something silly, so we'd have to use just obscene amounts of armaments to actually be able to build any more right now. We could get them some Tauruses or Lamasu, or, well, probably not Bale Tauruses. Fireborn are the same issue. I think we have 14 of them or something. So yeah, we're nowhere near to actually unlocking any new ones. And too bad the manufactory can't be used to empower the goblins as well. It's a bit of a shame, but oh well. Anyway. Here, let's see what we've got in terms of new stuff. To build, or to move, rather. And then we'll still fight with ASTRAGOTH, not to worry. And if we do all this stuff, and I can still do the tech thieves between the episodes. Skagoath, oh right, you. Now, what do we do with you? Assuming that we send ASTRAGOTH to Vitevo to fight Serena KATARIN, we can send Skagoath to Beckhofen, and then either have him take Kappelberg. Yeah, you're gonna fight in a second. Ooh, Pyrrhic victory. And we can either have him take Kappelberg or Griffinwood, or just annoy these things, and I'd love for ASTRAGOTH to fight Thorgrim. Drash had a bit of a difficult time, so ASTRAGOTH can assert his dominance if he manages to beat Thorgrim in a one-on-one. Not sure whether it's possible for him, but I would like to find out. Skag, I just moved you. Amarud's Helldower, who the heck are you? Oh, you're one of the new raiders, but you can't build anything right now. Well, I guess you can use global recruitment to build. Alright, fine, global recruitment it is. But we're going to have you get... you have 6 of these, so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we get 2 magma cannons, and... You know what? 2 magma cannons and 2 heroes. Make you a more powerful raider. Alright, then I'm going to rename you to Raider Helldower, rather than an Overseer, which is the weaker armies without the artillery and are only meant to follow stuff. We could get you a Castellan, or we could get you... Well, we do have space for more Tauruks. Campaign movement range versus Bully. Well, Bully will probably go into a, you know, an actual proper army, so we'll put you in here. Hey, maybe we could even put 3 heroes in here. Oh, we're actually out of mage capacity. That ain't great, because we do want mage capacity, but, well, we'll see about that. Oh. I didn't do your skill points, which means we probably could have reduced the cost of recruiting those guys. But anyway, there's more stuff to do, but ASTRAGOTH, it is time, my friend. We're going to level you up a little bit before we fight. It doesn't look like we need to level you up too much. Your magic tree is maxed out, I can see. And yeah, I think now's the time to start leveling your lightning strike. Yeah. I'd love to get Unyielding Command and Mentor and some of the other stuff, but I think for fighting the dwarfs during the endgame scenario, you're going to need Lightning Strike. I don't really care that much about Unbridled Cruelty anymore, mostly because our money is fine, but nonetheless. Yeah, Cunning for you, and then Iron-Willed. Astrogoth Iron-Willed. There we go. And what about you guys? Oh, 4 points. All right, respectable. Expeditious Endeavor. And I guess Indomitable. There's nothing else to get. You're pretty much maxed out. At level 39. Okay, good to know. You, I guess, are then probably also pretty much maxed out. Nope. Not quite as indomitable as we'd like. Yeah, let's get you a mentor, and then we might as well get you a point in training. Not that it really does too much for us. 3 points to spend on this guy, but you're pretty much maxed out as well. Let's get you Expeditious Endeavor so that you're a little bit faster. And oh, I gave these guys Sorcerer's Curse rather than Careful Casting, eh? Because, oh, I guess because they're leading the Bale Torsos, so they're a little bit more fighty. Though, I may actually swap that up and then change them back to Careful Casting. I really don't like the miscast base chance, even with the stuff that we have and with Earthing, as in the Techs and Earthing, it's still not enough, and they still do seem to miscast quite a bit. And then suffer damage, obviously. So there's a good reason to change that back. Anyway, you Stalwart Defender, the rest looks good to me, which means we can get you Spread Control, I guess. Alrighty. Now, time to fight Serena Katrin. You've already defeated her once by virtue of the fact that you have Frostbite, but this is a pretty decent stack here. Here we go. Alrighty, I noticed that Astrogoth doesn't say Drazoath in his speech like Draj does Astrogoth, it seems, every single time. I kinda like the idea that Astrogoth isn't even really thinking about him right now anymore. Or at least that's what I get from the implication. Anyway, a hailstorm comes down on one of our Bull Centaur renders, a little bit further cast than I was expecting here, so they had been standing still as I wasn't expecting to get hit by any spells. That's okay, though it shouldn't do a crazy amount of damage, and besides, on top of that, these Bull Centaur renders are the shielded ones, so they are supposed to be our frontliners, while the rest do damage. As we can see, Astrogoth is actually moving out ahead of the rest of the army, and my idea behind this was I really would like him to fight Tsarina Katrin, if we can make it happen. He's also been very specialized against Kislev in this campaign so far, and that's clearly continuing, and I would like him to fight Tsarina Katrin because he kind of failed to fight Kistalton, not by choice, mind you, but by virtue of the fact that Kistalton was guarded by those 3 elemental bears, and Astrogoth was busy dealing with them. Anyway, our Bull Centaur renders are facing off against some of the enemy War Bear Riders, and as we've seen before, the Centaurs are generally superior in this particular case, as in, we just have greater buffs to our Centaurs, especially in campaign, than the enemy does to the Warbear Riders. Some Griffin Legion also helping them out, and Griffin Legion also look pretty darn fantastic with all that fancy gear that they've got. Not gonna help them against the Bull Centaurs, however. In the meantime, Astrogoth is trying to make way to Tsarina Katrin, popping a Burning Wrath in the middle of those Streltsy just to try to vortex them out of the way, though it'll remain to be seen whether Tsarina Katrin will actually want to fight. Over on the flank, some more Bull Centaur renders, and obviously we've sent some of the great weapons out to fight enemy Cav so that the anti-large can apply to them, and I do think that they should be pretty okay against Griffin Legion. I just saw one bring down like 3 with a single blow, so yeah. Griffin Legion versus anti-large Bull Centaur renders, it's a pretty poor matchup for said Legion. Oh, and it looks like Astrogoth has in fact managed to find Tsarina Katrin here, and she's down by about 25% of her HP. That's a high jump. Alright, he certainly likes that animation. Huh, it's like a version of the animation that the... Oh, and he has a fire breath too. I haven't seen him a lot in his own melee combat. I do enjoy watching him chase things though. It's very entertaining on his little on his little exoskeleton feet. Anyway, looks like Serena Katrin's in very bad shape now, down to about 25-33% HP, and it looks like the duel has pretty much gone in ASTRAGOTH's favor. He's not even hurt, and he hasn't bothered to pop his healing potion, though he did pop the cascading fire cloak. Otherwise, it doesn't look like our units are all that damaged. There's a few hits to a few of them, and I also want to point out that we don't yet have the upgrade on them that allows mages to heal them, but we will be getting that later on. Demon Smiths, I mean. Otherwise, it looks like most of the enemies are in pretty bad shape. It looks like some of the Warbear Riders are still fighting, though it doesn't look like that'll be happening for much longer. ASTRAGOTH will continue to fight, I was about to say, but find at this point Serena Katrin as she tries to back off and fight him no longer. But it's up to the Bull Centaurs now. Alright, can ASTRAGOTH actually chase her down? Let's see. Maybe. They're just running alongside now. It's a race. Oh, and some Bull Centaurs get in Serena Katrin's way. Damn, I was hoping that jump animation would clinch the victory, but alas, not the case. They're in by our blood now. However, as I've mentioned before, this ability does have a tendency to work against you, as your units don't rout, and then they continue fighting to their death, or at least works against the AI in many cases. And there we go, down goes Serena Katrin. Had to help out with the Spirit Leech just to make sure that she did not escape. Otherwise, it looks like the army has been absolutely decimated. Those last few seconds of Buy Our Blood buying time for our Bull Centaur renders to wreck face. As we can see, most of them are still at 16 out of 16 troops, even the ones that have taken damage. This one, for example, has lost about 33 or 25-ish % of its HP, but not a single model destroyed, and thus it'll heal back up to full health. A very nice job, ASTRAGOTH. One of our mages got hurt, but that's pretty much it by the looks of it. Alrighty. And Kislev is in very dire straits after this, as I believe this was their only main force remaining. Alrighty, not too bad at all. One unit lost, and we got ourselves that nice little duel between ASTRAGOTH and Serena Katrin. ASTRAGOTH didn't even need to use his potion of healing and just came out very much ahead in the duel, though Serena Katrin's more of a hybrid lord than a real fighty lord, so that's hardly surprising. And a little bit of damage on our Bale Tauruses, and I think we haven't built them with regeneration yet, so I guess we need to do that. And the most damage that we took was the first volley against the Demon Smith Sorcerer of Metal, who took a volley from the enemy Streltsy. So yeah, nice. I've also just been very, very impressed with the Razor Sack. Hard to say. We still need rail networks built, though. I've been very impressed with that. Okay, you're going to walk really far, aren't you? Okay, fine. I guess we're attacking Kislev next turn. Maybe we'll sack that. I'm not entirely sure. What was I saying? I've been very, very impressed with the Bull Centaur renders. They're quite strong. I think in the vanilla, as in without campaign modifications, they're roughly on par with the Minotaurs, but when the campaign, because of the regeneration they have, and the fact that they have Blood Greed, which they don't normally have, right, whereas Minotaurs do, and this just puts them way, way ahead. They're very strong. Especially if you use the Lore of Metal to counteract their lack of armor, plus the regeneration really helps with their fairly high HP values. Also, let's double check this. So if we take a look at the manufactory and at the flying monsters. Okay, so Frenzy is great. Yeah, we need strength from flesh is what we need. So we do have to get... Is the last one? No, it's this one's 10. So... Alright, let's do 1, 2... These are cheap. There we go, easy enough. Maybe even build a few Tauruses for our Air Force army anyway. Then we're gonna go into the manufactory, and I know that this is gonna cost us precious armaments, but it's only one thing, so it's not so bad. Strength from flush, and just to keep these guys from getting so badly damaged. And you know what? A missile resistance also does tempt me, I gotta say. Their base armor is also quite low, so 25 armor could be fairly valuable. What's the max number of these things that you can have? Is it 4 or 5? There's a lot of good stuff in here. Mass plus 50%, charge bonus, and acceleration. The stock I actually don't care that much about, mostly because the AI can't really react to aerial units very well anyway. And if the Bull Centaurs don't have access to Vanguard deployment, we probably don't care that much about that either. And for now, let's give them missile resistance. I don't know how much this is going to cost us per turn. Considering that we don't have a lot of these units, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. 460, ooh. Yeah, it's quite a bit. Frenzy versus armor. You know, honestly, these guys don't have a lot of trouble killing stuff anyway. I think we'll get Frenzy, but only later on once we get the upgrades for them. You know, I think right now we'll get the we'll make them tankier instead. Let's do that. Plus, this is essentially just increasing their effective HP massively by giving them the strength from flesh. Anyway, we get 2 more, so it's 5. 2 more out of Total War, the tech. Maximum active Hellforge Forgecraft options plus 2. Yeah. Which we don't have to, you know, beeline towards or anything, but it'll be nice to have. Anyway, with that, we're out of time, and I am going to have to call the episode here. This will give me time to do some tech thief moving and other admin stuff. We'll come back, we'll do some building with the stuff that we've acquired, and then we've got more fights on the way. I believe there's at least one this turn. For example, Mount Gunbad. That should be a pretty good time, especially without Gorth the Cruel's strong army to rely upon. So stay tuned for all that, as well as Zhatan hunting down Thorek. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching. I can't believe we got materials at sea again.